morning guys, it's April the 4th, I'm Henry Green from London Trading Group and I'm just going to run through again what we're looking for this coming week. I'm going to go through my dailies and my weeklies for you guys today. I'm going to especially go through, focus on my weeklies because I think that they're the important ones obviously at the start of the week and what I often go through. So euro dollar closed right at the highs. This 114 level held perfectly and we have closed back there on the week again. So it looks like for me that this needs one more pullback and then we go again. We have broken out of this, you could almost call this like a triangle pattern here, and I've kind of broken through that now. So maybe we come back and retest it, so maybe we get a pullback down back into 112 somewhere, 112.80 area, and I'll go back onto my hourlies and I'll show you why potentially I think that's going to be a little bit higher than that. But on the week it looks like 112 area before we then go through 114, and my target is 115 for this one before a proper pullback. So I do expect this to have one more push up. Maybe we have a bit of a push today and then we continue on tomorrow. But certainly on the week, this is we've closed right at the high, so you expect this to pull back now. Well, I certainly do anyway. So that's what I'm looking for in euro dollar. I think on the day it makes sense as well. You've had this nice pullback to the 38, the first push up, indecision day on Friday, and I think we just pull back. So maybe we said 112.80 sort of area. So yeah, that makes sense. Maybe just a pullback into here before then pushing higher, and I think that could make quite a lot of sense for the euro. And then 115 area, sort of maybe a little bit higher, not 115 sort of 115.10, 115.20 area. I think will probably be the high, if not a little bit lower. So that's what I'm looking for euro dollar, and I think that probably could come off this week. So that's what I'm looking to play in that one. But as the week has closed right at the highs with a rejection, I do like that to come off a little bit potentially today. So cable's another interesting one. Let's go through the weekly on that one as well. Let's have a look what this one's done. So again, we're kind of just going sideways. We're kind of just in between this block of between 144.20 area and down at 138. So you've got to wait for that to break, I think, for this to either go in either direction. I've said before that I like to pull back to 146. However, last week's rejection bar off this trend line was quite significant, and I do think that this looks lower. So just got to wait to see what happens. I mean, this could just be a pullback back to this support now at 142, so we could now go potentially higher. But we rejected on Friday, so now we could see this bounce. But I think you just have to play the hourlies as they're being played out at the moment, and certainly they are on the downside. So let me just get my hourly charts up. So we have gone through quite a key level in terms of kind of a trend line, and now this does look like it's low. We've taken out the A on the downside, so we could now be going lower in cable. And obviously if we have made that lower high now, and if we go through the lows at 140.60, then we are away for this one, and I think it then probably does take out 139 area in cable. So that's what I'm probably going to be playing. I favour the short side in this one. Nice rejection bar on Wednesday, then we had Thursday and Friday sold off quite heavily, so let's see what happens in that one. But certainly I do think that cable potentially looks lower this week, and certainly on the weekly chart it looks nice rejection from, as I said, those highs, and we could potentially continue on down now through this trend line, through that past market angle, and we are lower. So that's what I'm going to wait for cable. Dollar yen, quite an interesting one. On the week, as you can see, we're just trading down, well, kind of at the bottom side of this range. We've not managed to go through the lows yet, but certainly that is a strong bearish week. Rejection from this 8 EMA that was holding quite nicely, and it does look like we are now continuing down. So let's see, this 100% is always the key level here, so I'm looking at sort of 110.60 to go through, and then it should go obviously down to 108. We're looking for 108 or 109. If it goes through 110.60, I do expect. So let's have a look at what the daily says. The daily says it's right at the bottom of its range here. You can see how we're down at a good level of support down at 111.30. So this is probably a good initial buy. So if we've got, let's have a quick look at the hours. Let's see what we've got down here. So this is the D down here as well. You could argue. No, we're probably a little bit deeper than the D. That's the D there. So yeah, I mean, we're a little bit deeper than that. So you could say that, let's have a look. I'm just putting my fibs in. So we've had a pullback, nice pullback, and then yeah, this is yeah, you could argue that this was the D as well. So if we're at the D now, then we expect to pull back, and that pullback leads us back up to 111.80. So if you get a push maybe down to 30, potentially go through the lows, or even down to 111, I think that's probably quite a good buy zone. But certainly this 111.30 area is a good level of support. So if you get a high low, and then we go through the highs, and I think dollar yen as a buy today potentially is a good one. But on the week, we look like we're at the bottom. We've got to see what happens at this 10.60 level. I think that's pretty key. Okay, so dollar CAD. So we had another crack at the lows on Wednesday. Oops. We had another crack at the lows on Wednesday. So I do expect this now to potentially trade higher, and I think the key level you've got to watch out for is this one up here that we've talked about before. So it's just a little bit higher than 132. So we're looking at 132.80 area up to 133. However, on the week, as you can see, we are now continually, looks like it's going to trend down. However, we have not managed to close on the week through this 129.60 area, so that's key for me. And I do think that that now signals that we could potentially push up. Nice rejection from the lows, and it looks like it makes sense if this now rallies. So that's what I'm going to be looking for dollar CAD. I think that one does look nice, and certainly on the day, this could be a nice double bottom, which would lead us back up to. Let's see where that would take us to. If you just simply put that in and project it upwards, we're looking at a first target all the way back up at 136.70. So this could be quite a big move in dollar CAD. Let's wait to see what happens when it gets back to the highs. As I said, we're looking back up to 133, so you've got sort of 250 pips to play with. I think that could be quite straightforward, so just wait to see what happens with that. But on the week, it looks like it could continue on down if it manages to clear this 129.60. If not, we hold, and this is obviously a good area of support, which we could then rally. So that's what I'm looking for dollar CAD. Aussie dollar is a breakout market on the week as well, closed nicely into here, but we are quite overextended, so I think a pullback is on the cards. 77.50 was the perfect target for me if we could get up there. We didn't quite manage to get up there. If it rallied to 77.50, I was definitely going to sell some up there, but on the day, as you can see, we've not pulled back to the 38, so this for me means that we do need to pull back, and unless it goes through this 77.50 and closes, in which case we have a faster move. If not, then I think a pullback to 73.50 is on the card. So on the weekly, does that make a bit of sense? 73.50 does make sense, and we haven't pulled back to 38 yet either. So I do expect this to potentially pull back, and this 73.50 then becomes a great buy zone for then Aussie dollar to go significantly higher. So I think short term we pull back in Aussie, and then the move is higher. So 73.50 is going to be that level that I'm looking for, and again, we've got sort of 280 odd pips to try and catch in Aussie on the downside if we do continue on down. So Kiwi also is a breakout here. As you can see, we've finally on the week closed above that key level, at 68.30 area. So we have now broken out. So what I'm going to do now is let's just have a look where we are in terms of the sequence. So we've got a little bit higher. So 70.80 is my level that I like us to get to. Let's pull back now into 68.40, and then we potentially go higher. That would be great. That would be great if that happened. Two nice indecision days, so we could just see that pull back, and then we do blip higher. If that is counted as the D, which I think you could probably say it was, let's have a look, then the pullback has to be a little bit deeper, so we could get back to 68. However, the nature of the breakout suggests that what we could do is we could pull back, blip down here, close back above this this level here that I've got in 68.66 on the day, and then we go higher, and then we fail at 70.80, which is the 127, which is also, makes a lot of sense. Okay, that matches perfectly up. So that's the weekly D, and it's the daily 127. So that's great. If we get a rally up to 70.80 in this one, that'd be really good. I think you look for buys in the Kiwi this week. I think it makes sense after a pullback that we potentially go higher. So I'm going to be certainly looking to play. I've got quite a nice channel that I'm playing on the Kiwi at the moment, so I'll break through that, and then I'll be looking to buy some, and I think that could be quite a good trade for the coming week. Okay guys, as I said, please leave any questions you have in the box below. Click subscribe to never miss a video again, and happy trading. I hope that's been useful. Thank you.